I went back to Barney's house and I started writing like a madman, trying to get, the first draft of Bedlam done. And doing so many rewrites of Gentech Wars, I knew, a basic structure to follow. I started reading The $7,000 Filmmaker by Mr. Rodriguez, and it really inspired me. And I thought, well, if he can shoot a film for $7,000, why can't I? Except the only difference was that I wanted to make it bigger and better than 16mm. I wanted to shoot on 35.
My last project had been on Super 16, so we were both believers in shooting on film and trying to make the quality look as good as possible. Once we decided to shoot on film, I think things started to ramp up a bit. Chewie was scouring Craigslist and talking to various people who had stock to sell.
I started meeting people in the weirdest of places. I met one guy in the back lot of Studio City at 11 o'clock at night, and he rocked up in a van, handed me all this brand new film stock marked Twilight. I gave over the cash and he sped off, and I just thought, this is an experience.
Every few days I'd get more emails from him. He was picking up more stock here. He was meeting some guy in an alleyway to pick up more stock there. He was just collecting as much film stock as he could.
I started stockpiling all the stock back at Barney's house, and it was, things were piling up everywhere.
So all of a sudden, he's got about 30,000 feet of stock.
He thought I was crazy, but I wanted to show to him that I was going to make this feature film and no one was going to stop me. I had to purchase a 35mm camera, a director's viewfinder, sound gear. When it came time to leave LA, I FedExed all the stock and all my gear to Melbourne, and then I went and stayed with a friend there for about a month. I then posted all the stock from Melbourne to Perth, and I stayed in Perth for a few more months and worked while I was corresponding with Matt.
Having been in Sydney for a while, I said to him, well look, I think Sydney's a good place to shoot. There's lots of places you can shoot here. We can get the casts, we can find the crew, we've got post houses for the film. Everything's in place here. Both of us would have loved to shoot back in Perth, our hometown, but it doesn't quite have the film industry that you have over here.
And I thought long and hard about trying to make it in Perth, but I couldn't get any film developed there, so I would have to send all the film to Sydney.
So for Chewie, it was a much bigger decision. He had to decide, right, well, I'm going to move everything from Perth.
So I knew my only option was to move to Sydney. I purchased a green Jeep Cherokee, which I named Sally. I then put all the stock in it and all the film gear, jumped in it and started driving to Sydney. She's packed up with about $50,000 worth of film gear. Anyway, leaving Perth, finally finished everything I had to do here. Heading to Sydney to start, hopefully, Living with Madness, which is a feature film idea where someone is insane. Maybe it's me. This is driving along the Nullarbor, baby!